Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gaming Lounge. I'm here with Culture Casino and Runner. How you guys doing?
I'm back.
I'm fantastic. I'm very excited.
There's something about Runners. I'm back. That was like kind of adorable.
I don't know. Adorable's a strong word.
It was cute, but cute is too strong of a word. It was adorable. You want to pinch his cheeks?
Adorable is a really.
I'm back.
He's a pinky
I
something.
am back for now. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. I think I'll be here for at least like 2 weeks, and that's about it.
Oh, all right. Well, at least you're here.
Yeah.
Way to get our hopes up.
Yeah, man. It's nice to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a bummer that your job keeps you away from us on Thursdays.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the fun.
But yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to get a better schedule later so I can be on this thing on Thursdays. So yeah.
Yeah, man, earn that money.
Yeah, do what you gotta do. So we have so much to go over.
Yep.
Load.
A lot of it is Blizzard, and we're gonna talk a lot about Blizzard, and I'm gonna rant a little bit, and I'm gonna explain some stuff that people may not know or understand. I'm gonna get into that. But let's warm up. Let's let people roll in and cover some of the non-Blizzard stories, and then hop into that. Hold on. I'm going to take my headphones off, put them right here, see if my sound is okay.
That was weird.
I don't know how that works, though.
That was a very weird noise.
Sorry about that. Let me know if that works, if like you can still hear me okay.
Yeah, you sound like Kai, kind of. You should get a microphone.
Runner, you were here later. I have a microphone. It's attached to my headphones.
Yeah, but except I was waiting for you. That's the difference. I was waiting for you. I needed to log into my StreamYards account.
What up, Jack? Don Kai, Señor Culture, y Bebé Runner.
That's great. That's great.
Great, that Runner kid is back.
Oh,
There
that
you
runner,
go.
that runner kid is 18 now. He's not a kid anymore.
Yeah, you're.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, 18 still a kid. You're still an adult in training. You're still learning.
Okay. That's a better way to say it, but that's still not a kid.
It's fair. So, all right, let's talk about some of the other stuff.
And Apollo, you're right. Women at Blizzard can make us a sandwich.
You're right. That's great.
So Blizzard actually has like a whole staff that cooks like legit
Sandwiches.
meals that you would pay like money for at a restaurant. You'd be like, "Yo, let me get this." Like,
oh, so they got like a cafeteria?
oh my god, dude! The last time I went, this freaking guy. Oh my god, this guy was so incompetent. Like, and the other chefs were looking at him like he's an idiot too. They're they're pointing at him like, dude, what are you doing? Oh my god, that guy was the worst.
I bet.
Anyway, sorry. Let's talk Ubisoft. Oh, this is the wrong one. God dang it. Next one over. Let me start at the beginning. There
All
it
right.
is. UK games industry veteran Ian Richardson dies at 53. Richardson spent the latter part of his career with Sumo Digital, which we talked about recently, if I remember right. So
Yeah.
that's sad. UK developer dies at 53. Rest in peace, Richard. Richard's part of the industry for over 30 years, mostly in business development and sales roles across studios like Rage, Europress, and Ocean Software. The last 6 years of his career have been spent at Sumo Digital as a studio's business development director. He was also an ambassador for the UK charity Special Effect and helped that organization raise significant amounts of money. Over his career, Richardson was credited with dozens of games, latterly including the likes of Forza Horizon 4, Forza Motorsport 7, Team Sonic Racing, and Snake Pass. Oh, that's solid. Sumo issued a statement, I would say, to all our friends in the industry. The terrible news this weekend of the passing of Ian Richardson has hit us hard. Sumo has lost one of the brightest stars gone suddenly and far too early. Our thoughts are with his family and all that loved him at this time. The loss of Ian leaves a hole in sumo in the industry, and all of us who were lucky enough to call him our friend. He will be greatly missed. So yeah, that's sad. We lost a veteran of 30 years. That's a lot, dude.
Culture, we can hear your game, by the way.
Yeah,
Okay.
Culture Game's still loud, bro.
All right.
Turn down your game volume, not necessarily the master volume.
No. Okay.
I just realized right now. All right, so that sucks. Rest in peace, man. Thanks for the great games.
Yeah. Haven't played those games, but yeah, rest in peace.
One of my favorite Twitch streamers loves Forza. She hasn't played in a while. She's been playing other stuff, but she loves playing Forza. You want to take this one, Renner?
Oh, the Pokemon.
Yeah.
All right, so those custom Pokemon Red and Blue SNES cartridges sure are sleek. It may not be practical, but it's so dang cool. I gotta.
Come on, aren't you a kid? Make this sound awesome.
Yeah, have some enthusiasm.
I'm
bro.
using my old fucking mic right here. You see this thing? It sucks.
Anyway.
All right, I needed to go full screen because I couldn't see the words. Every day on the internet is a chance to see talented people leverage and create creativity in wonderful ways. I mean, there's a whole bunch of utter garbage out there too, but allow me to take a bright side and only for a few moments, this project, a pair of custom Pokemon SNES cartridges, one for red and one for blue, turned out brilliantly.
Cool.
They look gorgeous.
Yeah.
They do look good. Hats off to the creator, Matthew Mods, who also does fancy Game Boy mods. I've thought about entering that particular hobby for years, yet I've immediately much more comfortable watching others make the most of their handhelds from the stress-free sidelines. As shared on Reddit, these cartridges are functional and authentic, which means they were a pain to assemble and aren't exactly cost effective. According to Matthew Mods, the Pokemon SNES cartridges use the internals of the Super Game Boy cart with a clock speed fixed chip and a link port added to that. You can actually trade Pokemon via link cable and automatic Pokemon boards with the new batteries installed. The labels are custom. These cartridges were mass produced and didn't need to absorb all that damn it. Never heard of this word before.
Finicky?
Finicky, yeah, no, never heard of that fucking word.
Okay.
Original hardware, I'll be all over them. What a cool project and great result.
Yeah, dude. That's nuts. He actually got it working, and you can trade via link cable? That's
really
badass.
Cool. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Jesus, dude. There it is. That's where you trade via link cable. You can see it's on the side.
That's
Holy
cool.
shit.
That's very well done. Somebody was thinking.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That looks so cool.
Yeah, it would be cool to have one of those, that's for sure.
That's a hella collector's item. People would pay fat money for that kind of thing. Let me see. Let me see what Roof Pretty is saying. I was all on board with the employees at Blizzard until the SJWs turned it into a socialist commie crusade. Now it's all about revenge, period. Changing it with vengeance is the only option. I don't follow that last line there, but I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what are the SJWs talking about with this? Because I've only been following the what's happening with Blizzard themselves and people's like the reaction to it, but I haven't paid attention to what people are saying on Twitter and stuff. Yeah, right? See? That's what I'm talking about. Also, blue is the better one, just so we're clear. Blue
Which
version.
is which? What's the difference? I'm not a big Pokemon
The
person.
blue one is blue version, and the red one is red version.
Okay, but what's the difference between the two besides the fucking colors? Smartass. What does it give you? No. What does it get? Like which one is what? Like why is blue the better one to you? Why?
So it's so the blue and red versions have different exclusive Pokemon.
Thank you. That's my
it.
That's my fucking.
Yep.
That's you answered my fucking question. There you go.
I'm sorry. It's just the way you phrased it was terrible.
No, the way I phrased it was fine. I just said, "What's the
It's terrible."
Yeah, no. Which is like why?
Damn.
Like, what's the difference between the two besides of course, I'm not talking about the color. Yeah, besides the color, smartass.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
That's an answer a kindergartner would say.
X-Defiant is at 26,000 dislikes. Jeebus, man.
Yeah,
Same game with different characters, designs, and Pokemon. There's mostly the same Pokemon. Certain ones are different. So that's why you need to trade with the other version. You see?
Yep. What's up, Christy? What's up, Angelos?
Hey, Christy. Hey, Angelos.
Christy. Hey, Christy. Boobs. What's up, Christy? Thanks for the boobs.
I'm a fan of boobs.
Hey, Christy, do you want to come hang out?
I think we all are.
Would you guys be down to have Christy on?
Yeah, of course. She's always welcome.
Christy's not like a big gamer, but she's a big personality. So,
yeah, that's what we call it.
Dust baths are real. I love this 80085.
That's right.
Oh, you're working? All right, Christy.
All right.
Boo.
Well, have a good day at work.
Boo for working.
Yeah, boo. Work. Taking away our Christy. All right. Damn. 26,000.
Work is taking away our Angelus. He's in the chat, poor guy.
And that. We're used to that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Angelus is here more than you, monkey boy.
I know that, but I'm just saying.
I can. Nah. If you guys can think of anyone we can invite real quick, let me know. I actually wouldn't mind having a girl on talking about this stuff.
A young lady?
Yeah, a woman's.
See if Nina Infinity is available.
Yeah, actually, sure. That's exactly who I was looking at right now.
Yeah.
Of course you were. Simp. No,
it's because I send her freaking articles. So yeah, she's usually at the top of my chat log.
That's cool.
I tried to hang out with her yesterday and didn't end up being able to do it. So
I haven't been on a stream with her in a while, but that's probably because I've been gone for so long.
Yeah, you've been
working. Lorena and Saggy. Jane Theory?
Saggy, probably. Saggy, Jane Theory, Nina.
Oh, yes, Jane Theory.
Awesome. I don't know if Lorena's available. I don't know. I know she has strong opinions about business. So maybe she has some thoughts about the Blizzard stuff. Don't know.
I agree, Angelus. Kai does simp hard for Nina. That is very true.
Thanks.
Those are one of the few. That is one of the few things I will agree with Angelus on, because we don't agree on a whole lot.
What?
No, I do not.
No, that's a joke. I mean, Angelus and we go on a fucking tirade. It's great.
Is Justin Proper count? No, he's not a girl.
No. He's Justin Proper. I'll be back. I gotta get some water.
All right. Yeah, I got water before the show. Ooh, man. Okay, I just remembered right now. There was an 8.2 earthquake in Alaska today. So,
surf's up, dude.
My heart goes out to everyone in Alaska dealing with that. And also, 8-point earthquakes don't travel alone. So if you're in the ring of fire, watch out. Be ready for an earthquake. Shut up, Angelus.
Up there, Rick. Just cut your losses already.
Do a handstand? Why? You want to see my shirt come off, huh? Because that's what happens when you do a handstand. All employees have a list of demands. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, they're like trying to unionize and stuff. Or there was talk about that. Yeah, we'll get to Blizzard in a minute. Because it's essentially, that's going to be the rest of the show. Once we start talking about it, that's it. So,
all right,
I'm back. Look it. Oops. Ah, God damn it. Okay. Where's the thing? All right, so from here onward, all of these tabs are about the Blizzard thing.
He's OP, dude.
So, yeah, interview. Hard space developers talk crunch, burnout, and the future of game industry unions. This is related, I guess you could say. Culture. You want to take this one?
Sure. Let me hit that. All right.
Yeah, don't get distracted.
Hey, chill out. I got that.
You said so nicely.
Blackbird Interactive Spaceship Reclining Simulator, Hard Space Shipbreaker, is a game about the exploitation of labor. When all the Earth's resources are used up, mankind industrializes outer space. You play as a newly recruited shipbreaker, a blue-collar worker seduced by the infinite potential of the cosmos. Boundless promise, limitless resources, a brighter future. Begins your automated links outboarding experience. It's here that hard workers like you, the backbone of civilization, will help us pave the way to a new galaxy. Before you get started working on the endless, dangerous grind of dismantling derelict ships, you first must sign a contract that, among other things, makes you swear that you've never associated with a workers' union or labor interest. Then, you're saddled with over $1 billion of debt that must be paid back to the company before any profit can be made. You also have to sign up for the Everwork Asset Replacement Program, a process that kills you and collects your DNA so that you can be infinitely cloned by links anytime you accidentally perish at work. Before you ever step foot onto the job site, you have to literally die for the company. Boy, this isn't a collectivist bunch of hooey-ha bullshit crap. Fucking try to whatever.
Sounds like a nightmare. Slash the pest.
Yeah, this honestly is, the labor unions are good, and here's a bunch of propaganda, kids, but from a different way of doing it. Anyway, after a few days on the job, you receive an email from another shipbreaker. You probably noticed Lynx doesn't exactly take great care of us, they say. I don't blame them. They don't really have a reason to. Up until about 100 years ago, workers like us would make groups called unions, you collectivist assholes, and fight for better wages, safer work, decent hours, that kind of thing. Basically balance things so people don't just get exploited to hell. Lynx is the actual key in getting rid of all of that.
So to be fair, the reason unions came together is because work conditions were as bad as described there.
Right. Well, no, they were bad for sure, but unions have become an exploit for socialism and communism and authoritarianism. They take a lot of resources from the people they're supposed to represent and then go about not representing them, but some political interests. So, I mean, we can get into a political conversation if you'd like. But I would rather read.
Well, I mean, at some point, I think we're going to, today end up talking about that because there is talk about, unionizing within the game industry and if that would be good or bad or, et cetera.
It always ends up at the end of the day being bad for the workers. At the beginning, it's good for the workers because you can collectively bargain and stuff like that. But one of the problems with collectivism is you always have people in positions of leadership. And just like with any circumstance like that, especially when money's involved, corruption is not far away. Hence the unions funding the casinos in the early days of Las Vegas, because guess who controlled the unions? The mafia. So Again, it always ends up now you have legal criminals to a certain extent controlling unions. So again, I mean, I get it, but hey. Anyway, I'll continue reading. After this, you'll start getting the Salvage Workers Unite newsletter, which outlines the key demands of the organization plans to make of links. They want the debt canceled, new workplace safety measures, and perhaps most importantly, they want the clause removed from the contract that states Lynx owns the rights to each employee's genetic sequence. By the end of the first act, Lynx has caught wind of Salvage Workers Unite and announces the enforcers will be sent out to each site in order to stamp out any union efforts. In this interstellar revolution, the exploited workers of Lynx are in the early stages of their own labor movement. It's a story that mirrors our past while critiquing our present under the doctrines of capitalism and ever-expanding influence of corporate power. And again, if the unions were doing their job in the first place, you would not have corporations doing what they're doing right now. Instead, they're working together. Again, this is the problem with the corruption of unions over time.
Well, generally, essentially, any union that hasn't been corrupted they try to smash it down and break it up.
Yep. So while the poorest and most undereducated are often the greatest victims of exploitation, this is, of course, not exclusively a blue-collar problem. As BBI continues to develop the story of hard space while it's in early access, the game industry itself is on the cusp of its own labor movement, which is the whole reason I guess we're in this story. What does it mean to make a game about organized labor and exploited workers when the industry itself is currently facing similar issues? Well, yeah. You want me to keep reading?
Did you... How much is left?
There's a lot. I guess not a whole lot. Just...
Did you want to talk about it a little bit, or did you want to keep reading the article?
I can read the article.
Let's go a little bit more because they're finally actually getting into the game industry stuff here.
Well, yeah. You want me to read this guy's thing or the actual game industry?
Let me see. According to McGuire Elliott, work exploitation in the games industry are more complex than they're portrayed in their game. Yes, that is true. A lot of industry outsiders think of it as some cigar chomping executive that just says everyone needs to work. It's usually not. They come with a smile, and it's your friends and compatriots who are working late. This was very woven into the industry until about 5 years ago when people started talking meaningfully about change. Yeah, so the way it started in games, you'd see documentaries about people like sleeping under their desks to get the game done and doing things like that. In the early days, it was small studios, and everybody was sacrificing. And everybody wanted to make this game. It wasn't like for a company, It was like for the team. And it wasn't even about working late. It was like you pretty much lived where you worked, or sometimes they weren't getting paid, so they'd be living together. So there wasn't really a place to go home. And then people were just dedicated to making their game. Once it becomes, that studio thing gets big or gets purchased, then it's different. And it's not okay to keep doing that kind of a thing. You need a life outside of work. In a way, the game industry's labor problem is more insidious than the one presented in Hard Space. Rather than signing predatory contracts, game devs often fall victim to more systemic issues that are much harder to recognize. A lot of the harm being caused to devs is a consequence of crunch culture. Developers want to give it their all, so they put in more time and energy to keep up with their coworkers. So one of the things I agree that we need to stop crunching. Are you driving? Yeah, you are. I heard that shit. I heard that.
It's crunch time.
Cole's just playing Cyberpunk right now while we're talking. That's why you didn't want to keep reading. You're like, I want to drive.
No, actually, I'm. You know that I don't mind reading.
Don't read and drive, kids.
Oh man, you know what? I'll keep reading. The whole point was this is just going to be, it's just going to continue on with the collectivist talk, but we'll do it.
Yeah, the thing, what he's talking about isn't false, because that's a common thing that everyone knows about the game industry is crunch time,
right?
And
but it happens. But here's the problem, Kai. Everybody's like, "Oh, crunch time is terrible." I've worked in industries where, guess what? They're deadlines. People, when you go to school, you know what you have to do sometimes. You have to study and cram for a test. That's crunch time. There are times when you've laid out a timetable for something to be completed. And because of that, you are held accountable to get it completed within the period of time. So, if you didn't, bargain your time properly, if you didn't plan your time properly, that's the kind of stuff that happens. So,
that's fair. That's fair.
And I worked at tech companies. You have to remember, I came out of from IT back when they were still using dial-up internet, right? And then, I helped make the transition into high-speed internet, right? That was, one of the early careers that I had. And so it's easy for me to look at this and go, you know what, I did this. And you know what, we had to crunch. There was times when, in order to make things happen so that people actually were able to get back online the following day, you had to work extra. Sometimes you slept under your desk. Believe me, I did that more than a couple of times. But you know what? In the end, it was fine, and it yielded me extra time off and or extra money. It would be different if they're not paying you extra money.
Let me jump in real quick, because I agree with everything you're saying about timetables and planning properly and etc. But the crappy thing about what happens in games sometimes is, unless you're like a big studio that can do whatever they want, like Blizzard or certain other ones. So this is a scenario that I've seen happen at a studio. Publisher is paying them to make a game. They have certain expectations. They have deadlines. They have promises that they've made. So the publisher comes into the studio and they get a tour of what's, this is where we're at. We're meeting all our goals. We're on track. And the publisher says, cool. We're cutting your budget by this much. You have to, but we still want the game at the exact same time. Like, same timetable, but we're going to cut your budget this much. So they had to fire 25 people from the team. They had to let go of 25 people to meet that budget. And then the way the publisher thinks about it is like, oh, you'll just crunch and get the game done. And so that's what they have to do. But it's because the what's it called? The publisher moved the goalposts. And so now the developers have to suffer because of that. So that's part of the mentality that it's not like, we understand that crunch is a thing that happens, but like it shouldn't be something that is forced on a studio,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, and again, here, that's another thing. If you're in the games industry, right? If you're in the games industry and you are a developer and you take a gig, you say you put in ironclad terms that this is the way it's done. And Roof Korean says exactly what I would suggest any developer what they should do, which is to essentially, say you can't change the financing. This is a fixed amount that's non-negotiable. It needs to be placed. The funds for this game need to be placed in escrow, etc. So it again comes down on the developers. If you work for a shitty developer, then you're in a position that you're in this position. I'm sorry, the developers need to just say, you know what, we won't do the game then.
Yeah, I was gonna say I agree with Roof Korean right here, because this was the problem with CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk. At least from the beginning, it's like, you should have like delayed it even more so the game is fully complete. So anyone can play it. It can't just be this fucking mess of a game. You need a completely like that. That's why the launch was such a fucking disaster, as it was. Like you needed more time for this, and I'm completely okay. Yeah, it's a pain. Listen, it's a pain in the ass having to wait for a game that you're anticipating. I understand that, but waiting is the better option, in all honesty. So yeah.
I mean, does that seem wrong to you, Kai, that, the developers should take responsibility for how contracts are done?
I guess, but I don't know much about contracts or how that stuff works. And publishers generally tend to. The thing is that publishers know that a studio is, this is part of their income, and they have, let's say, 200 people, a studio with 200 people, and their jobs. They're cutting the budget. They could make sure that most of the studio still has jobs for the next few months while they line up the next project or while they figure out what they're doing next, or everyone suddenly doesn't get paid overnight. And so they walking away, I think, is the move to go, hey, you know what? This is what we agreed on. So no, either you give us what we agreed on or we stop development on the game. I that's the approach that I would prefer, but I also understand being in the position of an owner of a company and, thinking about all your employees. So, but I agree with Roof Korean.
Yes, 100%.
Not making promises you can't keep, not making deadlines you can't keep. But a lot of the times that kind of thing comes from what's it called? Money people, executives and stuff, making demands of developers.
Again, you negotiate an ironclad contract. You have to remember, I worked at a game developer too, doing voiceover work as one of the very, very first jobs I ever had. So you just realize that, guy.
How unsurprising.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Can you say what game it was, or
No.
Okay.
No.
Darn.
He talks himself. Right, Culture?
Yep, it doxes me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, true. That's fair.
Someday I will tell you, but yeah.
That's fine. You don't need to tell me. It's fine. Just curious.
Yeah, no, I it was a great experience. I learned a lot. I learned that as fun as a job can be, and can play video games all day or whatever. When it came time to work, you had to work, or else you had to make it up. And that's the other thing. You go into work at a game studio, an IT company or whatever, and it's really loosey-goosey. You have beer on the weekends. They provide food like Kai was talking about, 5-star chefs, all kinds of great shit. But that at the same time, there's a price to be paid for that. Those benefits don't come without having to work for them or work at all. I mean, a lot. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I think everyone is going to find that game that Culture did a voiceover for now. I'm just kidding.
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
It's really, really old. I mean, we're talking back in disc-based game days. So.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
I was joking.
No, it's fine. I mean, go ahead.
I'm really curious about what game, though. I really want to go check it out. But we've got a couple more stories before we start talking Blizzard, and then that's going to be an hour of talking Blizzard. So, yeah, I love Solo Assassins thing. Casino is the voice in every gambling game, and probably the Let's Get Ready to Rumble host.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Confirmed. A concerned fan 3D prints an accurate scale model of the Steam Deck using the replica to point out issues with the new system's design. That's pretty awesome. Valve's Steam Deck hardware has made waves in the handheld gaming world with its portable form factor and ability to play Windows games, but the device has been met with minor concern from potential buyers. What is currently shown off is impressive, but it may involve comfort trade-off compared to its competition, which would be the Switch. The Steam Deck is Valve's upcoming handheld gaming PC, and coupled with the new Steam feature that will allow Windows games to run on the device's custom Linux operating system, The device has attracted the attention of many gamers who would like to take their game libraries anywhere. The impressive performance for its form factor in its current matter is a current matter of critical praise. Yes, yeah, we were all blowing our loads about that last week or the week before or something. The creator of the YouTube channel Handheld Obsession decided to 3D print a Steam Deck in 1:1 scale. Oh, damn it! And find out if the ergonomics will get in the way of the impressive amount of games the Steam Deck can run. The video puts worries about the system's thumbstick location to rest, but simultaneously raises concerns about the B button being too far off to the side when using the right shoulder button with the index finger and pressing the B button with the thumb. The fingers become too close together to comfortably use either control. The dual touchpads are also brought up as a worry, as they require adjustment of hand position to use comfortably. Huh.
Interesting.
Really? Wouldn't seem like it. You guys want to see some of it?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Sure. Yeah, let's watch it. Audio.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any audio. I didn't share audio.
You're fired.
Stupid screen share.
Are you the one to fire us, Culture?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, let's get past your face and get to the thing we want to hear
Yeah,
you
I
talk
could have
about.
them on a little bit better, but it gives you an idea, and you know how it's going to feel in your
Okay,
hands.
fine, I guess not.
So, the first thing that I wanted to try is everyone's main complaint about.
Wow,
the,
that's a good size.
thumbstick location, and I can
Yeah.
tell you this thumbstick location
Ooh,
is
yeah.
perfectly fine.
I can see
I
what
don't have any
they're talking about with the
feelings that
buttons
it's
on
in
the
a
side
bad
here.
position.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
imagine trying
You're
to.
gonna be using.
That's terrible.
Fine as
You're-
well.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only thing that I think
I'm gonna turn him down
is
so we can
this
talk.
B button that's all the way off to the side. If you're
Yeah,
using
look at that.
it and using the
No, you always gotta have the buttons on the bottom.
shoulder button, you're really
You always gotta have the buttons on the bottom.
area.
There are buttons on the bottom, and there's paddle buttons on your pinky and your forefinger.
No, I understand that. I just mean like on the side, like on that side. That's just that. I don't know.
You know,
If I were to have that thing, that would be like a big pet peeve of
it's a little
mine.
bit difficult when you're gripping. If you grip too
Yeah,
tight,
that would be weird, dude.
Basically gripping into
Because the thing
the
is,
device.
the
But
they don't have
ergonomically,
it because of the
these
touchpads
joysticks,
underneath.
I was a big complainer
Yes.
about it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know.
Didn't like it, but
I don't know.
worry about it. It's going to be
Like
just
taking the touchpad out, it's just
the
I don't know.
Here, if you notice, if you're using the shoulder buttons, it's a.
I mean,
little
do
bit
they
of an
need two
awkward
touchpads?
position. I wouldn't want to be playing a game.
Yeah, why do you need two touchpads? What's the point with the touchpads?
Well, it's for paddle shifting on driving games because you have a lot of actions. If you're not using a keyboard, there's a lot of actions you can map to those paddles.
This pad.
I mean, that makes
Okay.
sense.
So let's take a comparison
Well,
against other devices. Closest devices right now that are on the market, similar to this
I don't know,
device,
man.
are going to be the Ioneo.
that is a good point.
which
Oh yeah, there you
is
go. Switch.
a pretty similar
Right? No, what is that?
dimension. These both have 7-inch screens. This one is a little bit thinner. I do have the additional grips because otherwise the Neo doesn't.
Neo?
contain-
Neo? Never
Yeah, I was like,
heard
what
of
the
it.
hell is that thing?
Yeah,
Organized crime activity over on
That's a
Okay.
switch.
There.
due to
that's not a switch.
That weight-wise is
Is it a light?
perfectly spot on to the Ioneo.
No.
It's not
You have
detachable.
an
It doesn't look
idea.
detachable.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Impala
That's not the light. That's not what a light looks like.
Similar to it on
and
the
now
market right
illegally
now
occupies the
is
premises
the-
specified
Let's-
in the contract.
One
City authorities have
which
offered
is
reward for
almost the
successful
same
eviction
dimension.
of
One
the
X.
automatic.
Okay, so these are
However,
other
the One X player has
handhelds.
an 8.4-inch
These are
screen
non-switch
with a
handhelds.
7-inch screen.
I
Yeah.
don't know anything about these though.
But it is of similar dimensions.
Yeah,
although
see,
this is
they're-
gonna be a little bit heavier.
That
One thing
design
you'll
actually
notice
looks
about
good.
The Ioneo and the 1X player is how thick they are, and that thickness is going to stay true on the Steam Deck as well.
The Steam Deck looks
Comparison
less
a lot of
thick.
people are going to want to see is the Nintendo
little bit.
Switch, and
Yeah, there's a
the
switch.
Switch is
Damn,
a bit smaller.
that is small.
It is tiny.
And quite a bit thinner, as you can see as well. But this is going to feel better in the hands actually than the Switch does, because the Switch doesn't have any kind of grip. The closest I can tell you is if you had two left Joy-Cons, that's going to be the closest feel that you get on the Steam Deck with that joystick there.
This is why Nintendo's for fucking 5-year-olds.
Looking at
No, I'm kidding.
a Game Boy Micro, yes. It's gonna be quite a
Okay,
bit
so
of a micro.
what?
Um,
That
The
thing's
fuck is that?
our current, what I recommend currently, the 351V is quite a bit smaller.
That's a DS.
In the market. This
No,
is
it's a Game Boy.
I mean, a Game Boy. Excuse me, a Game Boy. Yeah.
It's not a
handheld
Game Boy.
How the fuck have I? Why the fuck
Hold
did
on.
I get that right, Culture?
V,
Oh, I don't know, dude.
How,
Like,
you should
what
know
is
this
it?
stuff more than me.
what I recommend currently,
know.
351V.
That's
is quite a
disappointing
bit
as hell.
smaller.
Oh, calm your tits.
Well, if you're in the market, this is
I'm just
the best.
giving you shit, Culture.
That's nuts. So
Some
some company
from
made
the-
like a Game Boy
the-
style handheld.
Is quite a
That's what that is.
Yeah, it looks like wood.
bit smaller.
Yeah,
as
it's got a
well.
nice
If you're in the
finish,
market,
but
this is the best.
It's got shoulder pads too.
Handheld, I think, from the emulators that
That's
come out of
nuts,
China.
dude.
One here is quite a bit smaller. Which,
Game Gear.
in its time, this was a beast, and so is this one.
Oh my
Same
god.
kind of size feel. Game Gear, Atari Lynx.
Oh man.
So, and then my kid,
That's cool. He even compares it to like old school stuff.
I'm surprised they didn't compare it to the PS Vita.
Well, because no one owns that.
I don't own that, and I'm a PlayStation guy. A few of my friends own it, but yeah, that's about it.
Let me check the chat real quick because I was all focused on that. When releasing WoW in 2005, before Activision, one of the developers had to take a line credit on his home to make payroll. Lucas did the same on Empire. Time for management to lead again.
There you go.
Well, the example I was using was not from Blizzard. It was a smaller studio, but yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. As we hear Culture like check out a credit card or something at the what's going on here.
What are you doing?
It's a bold claim to get easy anti-cheat working by launch. Hope it actually happens.
Well, yeah. If they can get EAC working and not destroying the core processes or the memory crap that because it runs, at kernel level, then it'll be good. I mean, that's a big if. So, low spec Linux laptop is not wrong there.
I think Soul Assassin's not wrong either. Casino is the boom shakalaka voice. in
Boom
NBA Jam.
shakalaka.
Do you really, Roof Korean? Roof Korean has a Vita. Should be your next name. So, while the concerns are valid, yeah, a comfort trade-off for a handheld device that can be expected given its odd control scheme. The Steam Deck includes dual touchpads similar to Steam Controller, but makes their usage optional in favor of including every control a modern game controller would include. Most importantly, 2 analog sticks, especially given that most twin-stick games focus on aiming and using triggers to fire more than button commands. The uncomfortable B button should mostly be a non-issue for those games. Fair. But I feel like, okay, I get it. If this is supposed to be an option, like a secondary option to the stick, use this or the stick, it makes sense that they're set up like that. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move along. That was interesting. Finally,
There it
something
is.
good has come out of cryptocurrencies. Better SSDs.
Yep.
New SSD designed for Chia plotting have an endurance rating of up to 54,000 TBW, 18 times higher than normal drives.
Terabytes written.
Terabytes written? Damn. I did not know what that meant. Thank you, Culture. PNY has launched a pair of SSD lines, LX3030 and LX2030, that are specifically tuned for chia plotting, resulting in endurance levels that are around 18 times higher or more than a typical consumer drive equipped with triple level cell NAND flash memory, or more specifically, the drives deliver up to 54,000 terabytes written of endurance. Chia plotting is particularly rough on storage mediums as far as cryptocurrencies go. It's based on what is called a proof of space and time model, which entails leveraging unused storage space to verify blockchain transactions. An abnormal amount of drive writing takes place compared to most tasks, to the point where you could wreck a 512 gig SSD in as little as 6 weeks. Dang.
That's true.
That's nuts. For the most part, consumer SSDs are just not built for that kind of write activity needed to be active chia farmer. Now that chia is a thing, however, chia SSD makers are incentivized to make consumer SSDs with endurance levels that are more in line with enterprise solutions, and are starting to see that trickle down now. PNY is not the first either. Back in May, Team Group began pitching its T-Create Expert SSD as candidates for chia plotting, originally intended for creators. Those drives only offered terabyte write range of ratings of up to 12,000, though. Damn. And in June, for example, yada yada. Okay, we got the gist of it. Article. Thank you. But yeah, that's badass. It's all about endurance. Okay, you obviously had a word count you needed to hit here, bro. So.
Yep.
So yeah, cool. We're getting better SSDs because of cryptocurrency.
Nice.
Yep.
Sweet.
They are also lower power. So
They're lower power. What the new?
yeah. Those particular SSDs, the new models, and the M2 NVMe's are also low power or lower power.
How's it going, Brightest Day?
What's up, Bryce Day?
Still can't find 3090s. Are they part of the 6-state tech ban? SSDs were blamed for the need for the ban on gaming PCs. What ban on gaming PCs?
Oh, you didn't know? California, Washington State, and 4 others. You know, the most liberal, bluest places in the universe. They are all they. You can't get high-end gaming PCs now because they use too much power.
That's fucking stupid.
I tried telling you that, Kai, in the chat, and you were like, "That doesn't make sense." And I'm like, "Well, that's what people were talking about in Culture's chat one day when he was playing Cyberpunk."
Yeah. What's his? I think it was Roof Korean that brought it to me.
Korean that brought it up. Yeah.
That's fucking dumb.
That is dumb.
That makes me want to buy upgrades for my PC just cause.
Yes.
Yeah.
But well, I can't wait to get the most gangsterous PC I can possibly can. In spite of that. Shh. Hey.
This silence brought to you by Kai's dog.
Sorry, I needed to mute real quick because I had to yell at them. Culture, you want to go? You want to take this one?
Sure. Absolutely. Here we go. The next generation of beloved D&D characters will be crafted live on Twitch. Actual play is now the birthing pool for D&D's most popular characters. Wizards of the Coast interrupted its 2-day programming for D&D Live last weekend to run a trailer for its latest game, Dark Alliance. Set more than 100 years into the Forgotten Realms past 1988 in Earth years, it's a blast of nostalgia, starring the unlikely Ranger Drizzt, straight-talking archer Katie Bree, and gooey-centered dwarf Bruenor, and indefatigable barbarian Wolfgar. Well, there you go. For 3 decades, these have been D&D's biggest personalities, starring in R.A. Salvatore's best-selling novels and cropping up in countless PC games. But over the next 10 years, you wouldn't bet against the characters on either side of Wizards' TV spot. whether that's Jack Black's Barolo, the enthusiastically accented Italian dwarf determined to use his demonic powers for good. He's going to hell, but along the way, he's going to plant some flowers. Barolo. Or Tiffany Haddish's unicorn straddling decalingual high elf whose magic missiles carry a glitter pale road. Tiffanicity. Okay. Daft though they may seem, the next generation of beloved and enduring D&D characters will be crafted live on actual play streams like these. It's already happening, and you can expect to see them filter slowly into video games in the coming years. There's a natural lag built into the design of D&D games on PC, derived from the age of their developers. Today, game directors grew up with Drizzt paperback adventures through the Underdark and Icewind Dale, and that history is reflected in their pitches and creative choices. On multiple occasions, R.A. Salvatore has been invited to contribute quests and plot lines to D&D games, each time lending his cast 4 cameos that contribute a sense of connectedness, tying player adventures to a larger Forgotten Realms universe. To an extent, this fixation on the same characters and backdrops has been self-reinforcing. Salvatore's vivid picture of the 10 towns in the 1980s led Black Isle to create Icewind Dale in the 90s, which in turn provides its own dose of nostalgia to power Dark Alliance. It's been back-to-back mountains like a packet of snow-tipped Toblerone. But that trend is set to end. For one thing, the Forgotten Realms timeline has advanced significantly since Dritzt's day, and while Wizards has been amenable to developers setting their games in the past, those who want to stay current and ruin shit will have to abandon fan favorite characters with sub-century lifespans to old age and death. What's more, the traditional approach is out of step with the way D&D fans come to know and love characters today, not on the page, but on Twitch. And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
D&D is bigger now than ever. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? They've made their case here. What do you guys think about what they're saying, what they're claiming that, these Twitch D&D characters are going to be a staple of fantasy here in...
I doubt it. I mean, they can say it all they want. They can try to drive traffic there. I mean, you're going to see people playing tabletop and pen and paper RPGs and all of that, on Twitch and other places. But to be perfectly fair, it's not the future. And the problem is the reason they want to pull it forward is so that they don't have to adhere to the rules of the time of the genre, so that they can dump a bunch of political crap and political correctness crap and all the rest of it into these games, which WOTC is famed for doing right now. So this will not look good. There will be a lot of people that are going to be like, yeah, F you, I'm still going to play my old shit. And who cares what, R.A. Salvatore is, going to do in the future? I mean, it is what it is.
I think also, they're kind of undervaluing the emotional impact and attachment and the resonance that a novel is going to have over watching somebody play a game on Twitch. Right? Because what is the emotional investment there? You're not reading about these characters and what they're struggling through to do what they're doing. You're watching someone play a game. Am I wrong there? Or?
Oh, you're pretty much spot on.
I think you're right. I don't know, man. R.A. Salvatore has been writing these books, all kinds of fucking books. I mean, he wrote Star Wars books. Dude's written a whole shitload of stuff. And people have enjoyed it, right? I mean, there's miles and miles of it. he's been on the bestsellers list for freaking ever. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's up to. I mean, I guess it's up to the people that are going to consume it, but who cares at this point? I really don't.
Under DMCA, I bet YouTube creators could run a good campaign over a live stream.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we can. That's what this article is about. It's that these people, celebrities, is what it's saying. Celebrities are playing games on Twitch, and their characters. They're saying that the Twitch streamers' characters are going to become the characters of lore in D&D and D&D games and stuff like that. Which I agree with culture. I don't think so. But yeah. Chris Avalon getting canceled? Yeah. I've met Chris Avalon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What's it called? Yeah, that was a while ago, if I remember right.
Oh.
Star Wars writers. He's from the game industry. That's why he's getting canceled. He's from the game industry. He already got canceled.
Okay.
It's already happening.
I was gonna say, like, who isn't canceled at this point?
Yeah, like he couldn't, like, what's it called? Got fired from games because of what happened. It was a big sweep of like Me Too in games, and so he got swept up in that. If I understand correctly, appropriately so, but I'm not clear on. I just heard that it happened. And I was like, oh shit, really? Okay, well, so I guess he got a job writing for Star Wars. The irony there. Totally wouldn't resort to self-inserts. Dude, self-inserts are the best. Yeah, as long as you make fun of yourself, it's fine. Started with RP WoW videos and ran Red Letter Media type game show over YouTube using pre-made rules, and you would edit the campaign for duration. Most campaigns were small one-day scenario types. Dogcaster. Okay, that's cool. But do you think that's gonna be the characters that like are the staple of fiction in the future? Just made a video about it.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, because Anna knows what she's talking about. That's not sarcasm. Anna does know what she's talking about.
She really does, yeah.
Absolutely.
We both know people at these places that everyone talks about. So, yeah. I'll probably watch that in a little bit. I guess it's time then, because
time to dive into the Blizzard.
Yep.
Here we go, everyone. This is going to be a long ride.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with... oh, man, there's so much. So, it is from the team. Move this over here. Management.
Here we go.
So, last week when we talked about this, we essentially felt, as we were reading through the accusations, after all we know about Blizzard and how they operate and their culture there and stuff, it rang untrue, you know? It felt to us like they were associating a lot of things from the publisher, Activision-Blizzard. It felt like they were associating things, associating them and Blizzard, the game studio. So actually, let me take this down real quick. I do want to pull something up. But two of the names, what was it? Blizzard Lawsuit, Alex, right? Alex something. Yeah. So there, Alex Afrasiabi, was on the World of Warcraft team, and he was directly accused of sexual misconduct, for which he was fired already. But I don't know when. Let me see. whatever. Yeah, he was fired a while ago. But in here, oh my god, I don't remember which one of these it was, or if it was like in the video I was watching with Bellular going through it. Oh hey, I forgot about this one. Oh well. Anyway, sorry about that. So Alex and Kilgore were two old school Blizzard people who were directly called out by the lawsuit for sexual misconduct, and apparently they were doing, shady things. They were, they were right to be fired for what they were doing. But this guy, Afrasabi, right? Afrasabi, Roof Korean. Thank you. He is Middle Eastern, and in the chat, like some people, they've come out with some chats, internal chat groups and stuff, where they're talking about getting girls to the Cosby Suite. Saw that one over here somewhere. So the Cosby Suite thing. God damn it. There it is. So the Cosby Suite thing, that goes way back before we knew that Cosby was Cosby. You know what I'm saying? Now that we know, it looks really bad. But apparently it was based on a room that looked like one of his ugly sweaters from back in the day. Because before Blizzard Campus, Blizzard was kind of spread out in different office buildings. And then once they built Campus, they consolidated everything over there. So at some point, there was a room that looked like that. And Bill Cosby was a comedy legend here in the States, People loved him. He was, they used to call him America's dad. And so people love Bill Cosby. And he also used to party with, like, what's his name from Playboy? The dude who started it,
Oh, yeah. What was his name?
Oh, man, he's been out of the picture for so long, I don't remember his name anymore.
Culture.
This one goes to you.
Oh, you mean you're talking about Hugh Hefner?
Hugh Hefner, thank you. Oh, yeah. Man. I have not said his name in so long. But, so yeah, that's the thing about the Cosby Suite is, like, the chat, the date was 2013. And with Cosby, like, all that stuff came out in 2015. And by that point, it had already been like a tradition. So yeah, this is definitely taking things out of context and blowing them up to make it look bad. Other things that the lawsuit claimed are, there's a combination of accurate and inaccurate. Like we're just saying, like they were trying to associate a frat boy culture at Blizzard as an entire entity to be a problem. But most of the problems are not within the dev teams. Most of the problems are in peripherals, peripheral teams, not development. So, with the exception of what I said to those two guys. And then cube crawls also are not a thing on every Blizzard team. They were a thing on Team 1, which doesn't exist anymore, and it was an annual event. And I guess it's a thing on the BattleNet team. And that's where they're having trouble. But every team at Blizzard has a different culture, has a different personality. The World of Warcraft team is like a family. So they felt personally attacked when the news first dropped. And then as they started sorting through everything, they stopped development completely to discuss it. So the whole team has just been talking about everything with each other, listening to all the women, listening to guys, because it's not like girls are the only ones. There's a guy on Twitter who said, like, I was sexually harassed once. Like, it happens. Shit, I've been sexually harassed personally, not at a game studio, but it's happened. But yeah, so everyone's talking about what the women have been dealing with, what happened in the past, how management, didn't see certain things. And as much as everyone, like Az and Jeremy, and actually Jeremy doesn't surprise me at all. His point of view is consistent, but like what Az was saying about how he feels about the company and like this is a company where its employees. This is a company that's okay with everyone just going, I'm not working. We're talking about this. They go, okay, yep, that's fine. They've stopped like everything to be there for each other. The employees are all, all developers are there for each other. And despite the lawsuit and despite that Blizzard apparently has had a track record of not promoting women as quickly as men, they were already turning a new leaf on that. I know that a certain team member on the World of Warcraft, a certain team on the World of Warcraft team, got a new lead, and they promoted a woman over a white guy. Like it was out of merit. They both were qualified candidates, but she got the job. So it's not like this is something that is persisting. It's or not persisting. It's something that they're trying to improve already by the looks of it, but that was a legitimate claim from the lawsuit, was the lack of moving women up. And yeah, let me see what's lore questions. He would answer all the lore questions at BlizzCon and reply to questions like an asshole. Yeah, that, like, I know someone who met that Alex guy, and yeah, he said pretty much that guy's an asshole and a creeper. And he gives off those vibes, even to guys. It's just, you Hefner, thank you. Yeah, sorry, brightest day. And made their list of demands. First demand mob is to make characters not so sexy. Yeah, I think that's fucking dumb, because let me share a story about, my buddy loves sharing this story about pancration and the Olympics. So one of Alexander the Great's generals challenged the Olympic pancration champion. So pancration, so everyone knows, is essentially mixed martial arts. It's essentially mixed martial arts, and it's just, you're fighting. Like, it's a fight. And so the general challenged the champion of pancration, the Olympic champion of pancration at the time, to a fight. And so the general shows up, full armor, weapons, helmet, shield, like ready to go. The pancration guy shows up, buck ass naked, greased up with a wooden club. And the fight starts. It's documented that the general throws a spear. The dude easily dodges it, charges at him. He, tries a couple of attacks. He just dodges, deflects, tackles him, and pins him down. Like, the end. Naked and greased up with a stick. He beat a fully armored general. Because if you know what you're doing, you don't need all that shit. And if you're fighting, it gets in the way. If you're unarmored, you can dodge better. You can last longer. And generally, you're going to want flexibility. You're going to want visibility. You're going to want to be able to get the hell out of the way before something hits you, instead of just letting it, slip through your armor or something. So, yeah, like, it's accurate that warriors are going to be, they're going to want, a little flexibility. If they armor up parts, like, it's not going to be, what's it called? Sylvanas. It's not like she was in a bikini anymore. Like, she was wearing, like, I don't understand the whole not sexy thing. That's fucking stupid. Because guys are out there shirtless, looking all ripped. Girls are loving it. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that about the Marvel thing. It's like, if you're a dude in a Marvel movie, you're gonna have your fucking shirt off, But that's not a thing you do with the women, I guess. But
a girl in a bikini is a no-go. But a dude, like, shirtless and, like, maybe covering himself up, like, oh, that's fine. You know?
Yeah, it's like even if you're fucking Ant-Man or Doctor Strange, you're gonna have your fucking shirt off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Another mob demand is more equity for people of color and trans women. So either fire the white males, women hire equal number of cis to, or everyone apparently in the closet out of fear. That's everyone there's yeah, that's bullshit. Those people are stupid. Blizzard is very open to everyone to be themselves and embraces those cultures, embraces people who, are gay or trans or whatever. Like they embrace everybody. And so anyone there that feels uncomfortable, that's their personal issue. That is not Blizzard making it one way or the other. That is a personal issue. You walk around Blizzard campus, you see a goth person, they're probably on the Diablo team. You see a girl walk by with half her head shaved and blue hair. I don't know what team she's on, but she's there right next to this straight couple that both happen to work here in different places.
Wait.
It's everything. You see everything at Blizzard. So anyone that doesn't feel comfortable there, that's a personal issue. That is 1,000% a personal issue.
So there are those who have that shaved hair, kind of like Kevin Smith's Tila.
Like that's a haircut that you see. It's not. I'm just saying, like, because of the stereotypes.
Nah, I was just throwing in a joke.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I agree. There's a point where, like, that's so stupid that they want to desexify everything. Essentially, people that want to desexify everything are prudes.
Yeah.
Like,
that,
I don't know, man.
It's
so
weird.
Ridiculous.
I started noticing that with the recent Mortal Kombat games. Like, you had Mortal Kombat 9, right? And the fucking chicks had like bikinis on. Katana, Jade, Melina, Scarlet, those characters. And then you look at the way they're designed in MK11, and I like the game for what it is. There were parts of it that I liked, but like that was one thing I was like, I could see kind of where they're headed in the future. But that, I don't know, that was just me.
It's not like Mortal Kombat, Jax was always shirtless and ripped.
Well, yeah, because he's got fucking metal arms and shit. Yeah, Johnny Cage always has his shirt off for the most part. Yeah.
What? That's Spawn?
Spawn.
Sick. There's Spawn in Mortal Kombat 11 as DLC?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, badass.
I haven't played as Spawn, but yeah, there's Terminator, Rambo, Joker. They added Joker. Who else did they add? Yeah, they got a decent amount of DLC guests and shit.
In my next book, I need to write a freaking sex bot of a character. Just to be a dick. Like, I'd say Maya and Farouk are probably my two most attractive characters. But, whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking at the Mortal Kombat designs. Let me put this back up.
I mean, Frost is just a freaking robot. So.
Let me see. He's just a robot?
Yeah, Frost is. Yeah, like go to that. Yeah. You see that design? They're covering more skin. That's kind of the trend.
Or up from head to toe.
Like
she's a ninja. It makes sense though. But
like go to that. Like go to Jade right there. Yeah.
This is Jade.
Yeah, that's Jade. She's the one with the green outfit.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then you look at her MK9 design, and she's like sexy as fuck.
Jade. Mortal Kombat 9.
Look at that.
That's completely different.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She's barely wearing anything.
Oh my god.
There's definitely a balance to be struck.
Yeah,
There's
this is
definitely
what
a
I'm
balance to
talking
be
about.
struck between these two
See,
extremes.
that image right there. No, not that one. No, that one. That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Okay. That's fan art. That looks badass.
That looks good.
Looks cool, but it looks like it's out of Star Wars or something.
Well, that's a little sexy.
That's perfectly sexy.
Well, but it's suggestive too. It's
Okay.
Yeah, that's fucking Jade right there.
11. Oh,
Yeah.
full shot.
That's her Revenant outfit, and I'm fine with that. But like her normal suit should not be like that.
It is a drastic change.
Yeah, exactly. Like even in their classic suits. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
Let's focus on the actual situation here at Blizzard.
Yeah.
Because as much as so there's definitely points where it's a bit ridiculous, and but then there are points where things are accurate, where they do need to improve, and no other company out there is going to take the time to actually have a conversation with its employees internally and stop working entirely. That's practically unheard of. I'm sure maybe it's happened somewhere before. Maybe at a small company, but not one this big. And so then, so what happened was after the response that Blizzard gave was, according to a lawyer, it sounded like a lawyer's response to another lawyer, not a company responding to allegations. And what do you think about that, Culture?
No, I think that's right. It did. It was very lawyer. That's why it came across as what they called it as tone deaf. And and that's it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, his response was very tone deaf. You can't argue. It sounded disingenuous, and it sounded very, oh my gosh, very legalese. It sounded like, what do you call it? When you're, shoot.
Because the other thing am I right about this, Culture, in what I'm about to say, that if you're getting a lawsuit that is accusing you of doing things, your public response cannot be to apologize for doing those things, because then you're taking accountability.
You can't admit fault. That's 1,000% true. Any attorney will tell you that. But regardless, the problem is it just came off. It didn't come off well. That's just the best way to say it. So
yeah,
and that's a problem.
It's understandable, but I also think that wasn't supposed to be a public response to the lawsuit.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. But you're getting shot, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing about the response that everyone. So then everyone gets up in arms about that, and the employees were like, "Hey, that response was tone deaf," and they, which understandable, but also, come on, man, like it's a lawsuit. It's not it's accusations, but it's a lawsuit. They can't go, we're Blizzard and we're going to try to do better. Like, no, it's all of that. None of that. It's a lawsuit. They can't admit fault.
Yep.
And so there will be, because the lawsuit also was not completely honest. It was, in many ways, was not honest and was very disingenuous. So yeah, it's understandable that they're going to want to fight and at least clarify certain things and get that sorted. Not just deal with the now fired employees. But this Oh wait, Ubisoft employees sign letter supporting Activision-Blizzard walkout. This it feels so silly to me because I commented on Jeremy's video like a walkout. There's no one on the campus. Everyone's at home. Were they walking out their house? Like what? And then if they're out in front of the campus, like to protest, there's no one there. There's no one there, and they're already not working. And
Well,
this
that's kind of a pedantic thought there. I mean, of course, there isn't anybody there, but they are basically it's a work stoppage.
Yeah, well, no, they're already not working, is what I'm saying. It's like the whole company like halted.
Yeah, that's
especially
the point.
on the World of Warcraft team.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
No, what I was trying to say is that's the point. Is it's not a walkout. It's just they just stopped working. I mean, so essentially it's a virtual walkout. When you stop working, you've walked out of work. You're not working anymore.
No, this is different though. This is
Okay.
The employees are going to the campus to to solidarity. Like, I don't understand the point of a walkout if you've technically already done that. Like you said, it's a digital walkout when you stop working.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying this just seems redundant. This is a nice way of patting yourself on the back instead of actually being there for your coworkers. Like,
that's true. Well, who wrote the article? Because I mean, let's like put them at fault for some of this because of how they structured language.
Who? What? Oh, the article.
Yeah, because it's possible that this is the take by IGN.
No, that's true. But hold on. Where's the? Do I even have that? The walkout article open? There was so many.
There's a lot of them.
Employees double down on appalling official statement.
But here's the thing. I mean, like I said, I mean, it, and the word I was looking for earlier was clinical. It was a very clinical response to something that required, something that seemed more heartfelt without admitting blame. It's a difficult time right now. Their emotions are high. We feel like, we've been working very diligently on, some concerns that some of our employees have had, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go about this. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, I mean, the employees can say, well, this is tone deaf. And yeah, to anybody, the uninitiated, it would come off that way. But at the same time, it also, I mean, even I thought it was a little tone deaf because of how it was worded. Again, it should have been somebody working with a legal team, with a PR person that should have, said that. But a digital walkout, that's just kind of what it was, I think. And there was no need. There was only reason to go in was to, have a show, right? Like you were saying, I think. If that's what they did, I don't know, because you have some articles I have not digested or read yet. You know what I mean?
What was that? Sorry.
I haven't read all the same articles you have. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a lot that came out. Well, this is the walkout. I'm saying I don't understand the point of it because the whole company kind of came to a grinding halt with this. They were caught by surprise. It was Blizzard, despite their cooperation and their endeavors here, the lawsuit came out of left field, and so they're all dealing with it. But yeah, it's not the walkout is already post the thing. It's essentially what I'm saying is pointless. It's pointless. I don't understand it, but this is how gaming dies. IGN is trash. Yeah. That the demand letter specifically stated to not cross the picket line. They were going to campus to enforce the will of the mob. But no, what I'm saying, Roof Korean, is that there is nobody on the campus. There's no enforcing anything. Like, they can't, like, everyone's at home. The whole company is working from home right now. That's why I'm saying it's pointless. They're all working from home. Take names, anyone cross the picket line. My high school had a walkout to stop Mexican deportation. I went to the restroom and got rounded up by the police. Gave them a fake name and went back to class.
Nice.
I remember that stuff, man. I remember I went to school anyways, and people were like, "Why didn't you like stay home?" I was like, "Cause there ain't shit to do at home, and since everyone's walking out, we're not gonna do shit at school today either. So just hanging out, free food, chilling with my friends, hanging with my girlfriend all day. It's a good deal." So George Floyd is. Let me see. Read my sentence again. Say that they were going to campus to protest. Yeah. I know. I don't know if I'm not following you or you're not following me, Roof Korean. They went to the campus to protest, but there's nobody at the campus besides those people. Like, nobody's working at the campus. There might be like a security, like the security people. That's about it. If that. Maybe maintenance. Carlos Sanchez is strong in my old school. But yeah, like, I don't understand the point of going to a campus where there's nobody. B-Net folks are on site. They're not on the main campus though. They're adjacent. I've been there. And the B-Net people are the ones that are apparently up to some shenanigans. So, I mean, shit. Why aren't they protesting there? They just got to cross the street and go to around the corner there. There's the building. The BattleNet hub is huge. What? Yeah, the BattleNet thing is big. That's, like I said, that's one of the places where apparently there's shenanigans happening. That's why I was saying the dev teams are all pretty solid. It's the peripherals, like the BattleNet team, the publisher, Activision-Blizzard, which is all executives. One of the things that the lawsuit says is that male executives will go play games all day and then leave their work to the female employees. That's not possible in a development environment. Not possible. That is possible in an executive environment where you have to do bullshit, sign things and fill out forms and yada, yada, yada. Like, whatever, all that stuff. Yeah, that's stuff you can hand off to somebody. Development work? No. You have your place on the team. If you are a special effects artist, man or woman or other, you have a job to do. You can't hand that off to somebody else because that's yours. There is not another person that is. You go, hey, Steve, can you do these special effects for me? Steve's going to say, no, I can't. I don't know how to do that. I know how to do this. You know how to do that. Leave me alone. That's a development environment. Everybody, men and women alike on those teams, take responsibility for their work. At an executive level, I could see work being passed off. So that's an Activision-Blizzard thing. And the trouble with the lawsuit is the way it phrased everything made it sound like Blizzard itself as a whole and the publisher are both equally as rotten, when the publisher is the one with a lot more problems. That was the one with the girl who committed suicide and stuff. That's all on the publisher's end. That's not Blizzard. Blizzard has a couple systemic issues, and it had a couple incidents, but most of the accusations being leveled are at the publisher, not at the company, at the developer. So yeah. The hub where the dude watches the WoW server status. Yeah, that shit is cool, man. And so that room is freaking awesome. Or those rooms. It's not like there's just the one. Those rooms, there's they have a room where they're like watching everything, like all of the traffic in all their games. And you can see in the different games the populations and how many people are online and offline and like in different time zones. It's freaking cool, man. It is badass. Although I would imagine that the whoever's watching the server status, actually, I have a friend who is on the networking team.
Cool.
I could probably get info from him about how they've been operating since the lockdowns and stuff. But because he works on networking, he actually has to go to certain sites sometimes to fix things. So, yeah. Sorry, I think I got off track a little bit. Culture Runner, what are y'all thoughts?
Well, you already have my thoughts. I mean, I'm not happy with what's happening there. But again, I'll go back to what I said before. I think it's the executives that are the real issues here. And I think it's been that way I think that's been that way for a long time. I don't think that's news to any of us. So,
yeah, no, I agree. And if there has been, people have been feeling truly that Activision is interfering with them more and more, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. Hopefully that if it's the same people, that if Activision-Blizzard, the publisher, gets kind of cleaned out and new people come in, then maybe that relationship might change. Maybe people's perception might change, because if they really are interfering, then we'll see a change in how Blizzard operates, because they'll be doing more their own thing than before. If it's not, then we'll see that too.
Yeah, like for me, I'm just like, just, I don't know, figure out your shit, try to do a meeting and plan, fix whatever you gotta do. And yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Well, if these people are, what's it called? If these people are at the campus, then what's it called? Yeah, that's a good point. They couldn't just move the whole room, but like, you can monitor the servers from home, and when you have an issue, you can send a tech. So, I hadn't thought about that. So I am curious now. Makura. I don't know what that is. It sounds like, no wait, Galaxy Quest? Is that Galaxy Quest Roof Korean?
I don't know.
Soul Assassin. I think Activision has a huge in this. I guess there won't be Call of Duty game next year. Oh, there will be. There will be. They make money hand over fist. Also, Activision Blizzard, the publishing company, does not, they don't make games. They're not a developer. They're a publisher. When Blizzard signed on with them, so what happened was, here's the little history lesson. Blizzard originally was published by Vivendi. Vivendi didn't just publish games; they published a bunch of stuff. They had music and movies.
television, film.
Mm-hmm.
And so, at some point, I don't remember the year.
It was at one point Universal Vivendi, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. I forgot about that. But so Activision buys Vivendi, and so Blizzard as a studio is now left in the wind. They need to find a new publisher. So before they can go find a new publisher, Activision says, "Hold up, bro. Hold up. We're a publisher. You want to stick with us?" But Blizzard didn't want to be no punk bitch. So they're like, "If we're partners, sure." So they partnered up. That's why it's Activision-Blizzard is the publishing company, and beneath them are, Activision, Blizzard, and other things. And Activision itself has several studios, and the Call of Duty games are produced by, I think, 2 or 3 different studios that just leapfrog each other. And so one year this Studio A will drop a Call of Duty game, and then the next year Studio B drops their Call of Duty game. Meanwhile, the other ones are working on the next game, and so there's always one coming out. It's such a huge Call of Duty is such a massive moneymaker for Activision. Oh, we're getting another one next year. Yeah, Activision, like I pointed out earlier about Blizzard, how Blizzard stopped to talk to their employees. Activision ain't gonna do that shit. Activision, the studios in Activision, they're gonna keep on trucking. Activision as a publisher, they're gonna keep on doing their thing. Blizzard takes a moment.
I was gonna say there always seems to be like a new Call of Duty to come out almost every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, the gaming industry is surprisingly complex. I think that studios need to be more bold when dealing with publishers.
The developers, yeah.
Yeah, developers. Look at the list of places they encourage you to donate to. Not one of the lists benefit every employee equally. They're just purely tyrannical vengeance. Co-opt. All right, let's look it up. Let me see. I'm looking for it open. I'm seeing if I already have it open. Because I just opened up a bunch of shit.
You have 11 billion tabs open.
Mm-hmm. The full letter. Okay, I do have it open. Sweet. Let me zoom in on this.
Write the fuck down.
The full letter. To the leaders of Activision-Blizzard, we, the undersigned, agree that the statements from Activision-Blizzard Inc. and their legal counsel regarding the deptch lawsuit, as well as the subsequent internal statement from Francis Townsend, are abhorrent and insulting to all that we believe our company should stand for. To put it clearly and unequivocally, our values as employees are not accurately reflected in the words and actions of our leadership. We believe these statements have damaged our ongoing quest for equality inside and outside our industry, categorizing the claims that have been made as distorted and in many cases false creates a company atmosphere that disbelieves victims. Well, we've just stated that yes, a lot of the things that the lawsuit was claiming are false and misrepresented. So no, and also these people are obviously too ignorant of legal proceedings to recognize what we pointed out earlier. So,
well, they're making it a war of PR. It's a PR. This is a PR thing right here.
Yeah, because this sounds like I'm a whiny bitch and I don't like what you said. If I honestly, because the lawsuit absolutely distorted facts, but the things that are not that are accurate about it are being dealt with. But it's a lawsuit. You can't say we feel bad that anything happened in our. You can't say anything. So it also casts doubt on our organization's ability to hold abusers accountable for their actions and foster a safe environment for victims to come forward in the future. These statements make clear that our leadership is not putting our values first. Immediate corrections are needed from the highest level of our organization.
This is because you have a bunch of children now. There are no longer adults in the room. Anybody who's age 30 or younger, there's a decent chance because they were probably raised by schools and not by parents, that they have the emotional IQ and understanding of how the world works of like a gnat. So sorry, Runner, it's just the truth.
Sorry, Runner.
I knew he was gonna bring me into that. I knew he was gonna fucking bring me into that.
Not you. It's not you specifically, man.
No. I know. No, I assumed that you were gonna make a joke. You're gonna put me into it somehow.
So our company executives have claimed that actions will be taken to protect us, but in the face of legal action and the troubling official response that followed, we no longer trust our leaders who will place employee safety above their own interests. To claim this is a truly meritless and irresponsible lawsuit, while seeing so many current and former employees speak out about their own experiences regarding harassment and abuse, is simply unacceptable. So, yeah, that's some of where they're coming from is fair in the feeling. Like if they're like, I don't feel like they're necessarily gonna have our best interests in mind if they are denying absolute. But like we said, it's a lawsuit. You can't be sensitive to those things. You can deal with it internally. Like they've already fired people before the lawsuit. They've already fired people for misconduct. They've already started changing the way they do things, and they are currently listening to their employees and talking, seeing where their faults are, seeing where they could improve. And the response by by a handful of employees apparently is to, because 500 is not a lot at Blizzard. That's ridiculous. So we stand with our friends, teammates, and colleagues, as well as members of our dedicated community who have experienced mistreatment or harassment of any kind. We will not be silenced. We will not stand aside. We will not give up until... Yeah, no one's silencing you. No one's asking you to stand aside. Not give up until the company we love is a place we feel proud to be part of again. We will be the change. No, you won't. You're just going to be annoying. So... Oops. Sorry about that. Sorry, the mic. Well, yeah.
That's fine. I dropped my mic too.
So, fired in 2020. Yeah, so this guy was already fired, but in the text, that's right, in the text chain where he was, where they're talking about getting girls back to the Cosby Suite, he says, that's why I had it open earlier. He says that someone tells him, like, hey, you can't, like, marry all these women. And his response is, yeah, I can. I'm Middle Eastern. And so there is definitely a cultural, for all these people that want to be sensitive about people of color and stuff. Yeah, that was a person of color that did that. All right, and he is leaning on his what's it called? Culture. He's leaning on his cultural practices as an excuse to behave the way he does. And generally, Middle Eastern people, I don't know if you know this, but they're not great with women. Those countries, yeah, don't know how much these people, these Blizzard employees who wrote this letter understand the world. But yeah, Middle Eastern people, they're not, they kind of have a bad rap with some of that, all right? So, like, it feels like something written by people who completely lack perspective.
For the third consecutive year, Militech has been listed as Night City's best corporation.
I don't know. Culture, your game's loud as fuck. What do you think?
I didn't change the volume. What I think,
what are you thinking?
I think that this is going to be a mess for a while, and I think that these people are going to realize that they need money. At some point, you know, somebody will hold them accountable for their job. So that's what I think. What do you think,
Runner? I've been talking a lot. That's why I wanted you guys to talk a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
Hey, Runner,
sorry. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Fuck them kids.
Wow.
There we go.
From an 18-year-old.
That's strong.
Let's see. Where to help list? IGN.
Credibility disappearing. IGN.
IGN, Blizzard, employees. Sure. Maybe that'll bring up what I'm looking for. Yeah, they definitely need to clean house at the executive level at the publisher. And Blizzard, the company itself, is I don't know. I think it's just so completely lacking context and perspective for them to that letter, the employee letter. Where? No, that's different. Hey man, if you want to link us, if you can link me on Twitter or something, I guess I'll see where their list of what the list of places to help are. But yeah, I think it's to try to co-opt this and like make it. Pardon me. Like there are women who are dealing with who have dealt with sexual misconduct at the company, but then if you're gonna try to like hijack that to make it about like trans rights and gay rights and all, you are an asshole. These women we need to listen to them, not hear about how somebody feels like they can't be 100% themselves. That's not the problem here. And anyone trying to hijack this situation for any reason is a dick. Yeah, the game in the background is quite distracting. Good point. Yeah, I agree, Soul Assassin. I hate those words also. No self-respecting Latino or Latina that speaks Spanish and understands their culture uses those words. There is hope. Runner hates them kids. Black Rose Code is our first recommendation for a place to donate. So only black women were treated like poo at Blizzard. Right? Yeah, stop making about race and sex and this is about sexual misconduct. If you want to talk about anything else, shut the fuck up. It's not your moment. I agree. Banned from Twitter. That sucks. Blizzard needs an enema. This town needs an enema.
Wait, who's banned off Twitter? Roof Korean?
Roof Korean, apparently.
Oh, I hope you and Az have fun.
Fucking dick.
What, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm kidding. But okay,
I know
honestly,
it's still such a dick thing to say. It's funny.
Okay, here's why it's not. Here's why that's not being a dick, because honestly, I think anyone would like to be kicked out of Twitter, in all honesty.
Hey, Roof Korean.
So you're welcome.
Why don't you try typing something and see what your name looks like? Yeah, I feel like we should mod some of our peeps here. We don't have any mods. Oh, Bruce Lombardo, that's why. Okay. So I remember I wanted to shout out Bruce Lombardo last time, and we were waiting for him to get here, but he wasn't off work yet. So, okay, that's what it was. So yeah, that's the thing about when you start getting into, intersectional feminism and race baiting and, all this stuff, like this, there is a confluence of issues here, which is there's sexual misconduct, and then there's some of the people committing the sexual misconduct. You got a jet culture. Let's wrap it up. Yeah. Are like Alex, that guy's Middle Eastern, and he's like, hey, I'm Middle Eastern. This is how we do. Like, okay, so what do you do now? Do you go, well, we're not hiring Middle Eastern people anymore? Oh, well, that's racist. Okay, but then let's hire Middle Eastern people then. But then but that guy goes, there's the companies get stuck in a jam where they can't. It's like you want me to hire 1,000, hire a lot more people of color. Like, okay, let's see the resumes. Line them up. You get the best ones. You're not going to hire them all. It's not like because we have more melanin in our skin, it makes us better artists. You get there through merit and hard work. I've watched people try and try and try and try, and they finally make it into Blizzard because you need to be really good and you need to have relevant experience. It is merit based. There is, like I said, you walk through Blizzard and you see all different kinds of people there. There is so much, and all nerds. We're all nerds, but you see all different kinds of people there. And I think it's honestly, it's the most diverse place, studio I've ever seen. And Blizzard makes so much effort to make sure that their employees are listened to and represented and that they feel, like they can be themselves. So anyone that's trying to hijack this is just a shitty person. And because that prevents the actual issues from being dealt with. But Culture, you got any closing thoughts?
Treat everybody the same and life will be better.
That's pretty good.
Honestly, I mean, if everybody, if that's your default position is to treat everybody with respect and love, and that's your default position, then if they decide to be a dick, that's on them. That's on them. And I'm
wondering, actually, I just thought of this. Yeah. Roof Korean, is there a chance that IGN included those links, not the employees?
I don't know. IGN's a piece of shit. So I mean,
yeah, IGN's garbage. That's why I'm like, dude, don't try to hijack this shit.
Anyway,
anyone trying to hijack it is a jerk.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's. Sorry, go on, Culture.
No, it's just wrong. I mean, look. I mean, you were correct in pointing out that the issue at hand isn't all this other shit they're trying to shoehorn in there. This is a problem because these women were treated poorly. It doesn't sound like there was a color differential involved in any of that. So, I mean, women in general were treated badly. So address that. But anyway,
they need to deal with the systemic issues with females, not this race crap. And if it's like Roof Korean, if it's IGN, I don't know who's the one that put out the links associated with the letter, but I'm going to assume that the employees, although lacking in a little perspective there, wrote the letter and not the links. I'm assuming the links came from IGN because we all hate IGN because they're garbage. So, yeah.
And like I said, I mean, I got to slide out. So, all
right.
I think we need to bounce. But
yeah, let's wrap it up and get out of here. So there has been some misconduct at Blizzard and Activision-Blizzard. The lawsuit absolutely misrepresents and conflates things. And they're actually dealing with it and talking to their employees. So commendations there. Yeah, I hope it all gets sorted out. I don't like the conversation building up around it. Yep. That is taking it out of what it's supposed to be, which is what we're saying here about hijacking it. So let's stay focused. Let's remember that the people here are there for each other, and that companies are made of people. They're not.
And don't blame the victims. Get the full story, get the facts, and you know what? And ultimately, since this is going to end up in court, a lot of information will come out that we don't have now. And that's being misrepresented or presented unfairly. So, but on that note, we've got to go, guys.
Yeah. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here. Soul Assassin, Roof Korean, Sam, Brightest Day was here for a minute. Everyone, thank you very much. Take care of yourselves, and check out our respective channels. The links are down in the description. Yeah. Everyone have a wonderful day and a great weekend. Take care of yourselves.
See you.
See ya.